This is just a little video that's kind of talking about the little, I want to call it a little bit of a method that comes from Marcel's Being and Having. Now that's a book that talks a good amount about God. He is a theistic or a Christian existentialist. So a lot. I can go into that a lot. I currently have other things I would like to do, so I don't want to go big into that. But I do want to discuss a little bit this method between being and having. Now, for one thing, we're not talking about just like having certain, if we are something versus having something. Like, having having a car versus or having a house versus being hospitable. That's one example I've seen. But it's not very hard to have or to differentiate the the verb to be and to have between different things. But there are certain things that it would be better if we looked at it in the terms of being rather than in terms of having. One thing that Marcel uses is that rather than to say we have hope, where we would say it'd be better to say we are hope. In Jean-Luc Nancy's being singular plural, he says that we are meaning. We don't have meaning, we are meaning. Now we're talking about, when I talk about we are, the verb to be, I'm talking about people, us. We. Now when I say that we, with this verb being and having, I'm thinking about people. We have or we are something. We have meaning or we are meaning. It'd be better to think about that we are meaning because of who we are and what interpersonal relation would be. For instance, do we want to think about it in terms of we have empathy or we are empathy? Now, if we think about we have empathy, we're talking about the fact that when we talk to people, we have empathy for them, but and yet if we are meaning, or if we are empathy, then when we have interpersonal relation, it's total empathy. It's just a little bit of a methodological difference. And another one that Marcel actually talks about is versus we have belief, we could use we are belief. And I think that's another big one there. Another one that he doesn't use would be, do we have love or we are love? Now God, for one, says that God is love. Now, if we're a theist, then what we want to be is like God. We want to be love. Next would be like compassion. We have compassion or we are compassion. Now think about which one would be really like inclusive of every single interpersonal relation. If we have something, we have the option to whether to use it or not. we have that option because we have it, but do we want to use it? But if we are something, if we are compassion, empathy, love, or hope, and meaning, then that's what we are, And when we do engage in, like, let's say on that relation, then the reality of who we are and what we are becomes the same reality in a unity of being with the other person that we're engaged in this thou relation with. That's just a little bit of a methodological difference that I think was very important, because there's a big difference between the verb to be and to have, and if we use the word to be, then we're talking about a lot more here, and a lot more meaning and importance between various nouns. Thanks.